Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, it is so good to be back with you guys. Well, welcome to Tuesday. That means it's time for messages from the spirit world. I know, forgive me, I'm getting this out late today. Psychic Bob's had a really full day. On Tuesday, I do in-person readings, and today ended up being a busy day at my office, and I was at my office. For those of you who are new here, by the way, I should explain, some of you are just new, you don't know this, I am actually a full-time professional psychic medium. I have my own business, my own office, and I literally do readings every day. So today I was down at the office, and it was a full day for me. And I was going to say, for those of you who are interested, I do private one-on-one readings. And in my private readings, it's you and me sitting together for a full hour. And we cover a lot of stuff, a lot more than I can do in messages video. So we're going to look at your past, your present, your future. We're going to identify all your spirit guides. I'll bring over messages from them. If you have deceased loved ones, they come through. I bring messages from them as well. We look at your life themes. What's your mission? We look at where the blocks are in your life and how to overcome those or get around that. We look at your past lives, your kind of karmic soul journey. And I also answer all of your questions as part of the reading. So I cover a lot of information. And as I said, it's an hour long. If you want to, get on my schedule for a private session, and I do charge for those, you can get all that information over to my website. I'll put the link below at robert-hickman.com. So, give me a call. You can call my office at 571-483-2112 or send me an email at my email, which I'll also put the link below. And we'll get you on the schedule, okay? So I always say a private reading is an investment in yourself. So if you want to do that, it might be worth your time. Well, guys, thanks for being here. Well, today's message is from the spirit world. And I also want to say welcome to all the newbies. We've had a lot of new subscribers. And I'm very excited about all the wonderful new people that are discovering Spirit Channel. Every Tuesday we do messages from the spirit world. And this is where I grab a bunch of letters and I do little mini psychic readings. So, it's not as in-depth as a full private reading, but it gives a little psychic help to people on their journey. And I hope that you'll find this helpful. And I always say, even if I don't answer your letter, and please understand I get hundreds of letters, listen to all the letters, all the messages, because you never know, spirit might work through somebody else's letter to reach you. And I know that this happens because, the spirit world wants to reach as many people as they can. And they will work through other people's letters. So listen, you may get some help even, if something you're not even thinking about, a letter will come to you like, oh my God, I get this. So be open to that, okay? You guys are great. Thank you for your patience. As I said, I get hundreds of letters. It's just me, and I can't always personally write back to everybody. I know some people say, you hate me, Bob. You didn't write back to my letter. Please, I beg you, listen to me, forgive me. I literally need a whole staff to manage all the stuff that I try to take on. And right now, I just don't have the money to have a whole staff to manage everything. But I do what I can, and I hope that you'll work with me, okay? Keep watching. Anyways, so let's jump into the letters, okay? So before we get into that, though, let's all just take a moment. I want everybody just to settle down, and let's do a little meditation. Let's just close our eyes for a minute. And let's just open to the spirit world. Just take a few moments and visualize beautiful golden white light passing through your body. Just sit in that light with me for a moment. Very good. All right, I hear my spirit guide Fletcher back here. He says hello to all of you. Well, let's jump into our letters. All right, our first letter today is from Wicked Dreams. That's an interesting name. Wicked Dreams says, hi, Bob. What do you think of marijuana use for psychic ability or people that suffer from depression? Wicked Dreams, this is a very good question. Good questions. We've got two different issues. One is depression and one is psychic use. And I wanted to kind of address each of those. In terms of psychic ability, there actually is a history in the world of psychism of using marijuana to open the doors of perception. In India, the followers, the yogis who are followers of Lord Shiva, many of them smoke marijuana as a way to access their inner yogic wisdom and knowledge. In terms of does marijuana help you open psychically, I have to say I have heard many people, I have not used it, but I've heard people say yes, it does help you access that dimension. My personal belief, however, which I must caveat this with, is that I do believe marijuana could be a door opener. But the thing is that I feel that you don't want to rely on that as the way to achieve psychism. I was actually trained in the spiritualist church, and one of the things they taught us in the spiritualist church is that inside of us is our own spirit, and our own spirit is connected to infinite intelligence. And what that means is that everything that you need to be connected to the spirit world, you already have. So drugs, though they may help you initially to access that, I personally don't believe in that, because I believe that then you rely on an outside source when really it's already within you. I think that when you start to rely on substances to achieve an effect, you're limiting your ability to use your own power. And so I'm not a big believer in that. I don't think that drugs are the way to access the spirit world. I believe long term that if you use that, it actually weakens your connection because you become dependent on that, and then you don't do the inner work that is necessary to get there. So as for marijuana, I do not necessarily support that or believe that that is long term a helpful solution. In the short term, it may help, but ultimately you don't even need it. Now, when we talk about people suffering from depression, I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't really address that, to be honest with you. Speaking as a psychic, though, I have to say that I feel that any time we rely on a substance to deal with our issues, again, we are not using our innate power. Now, I know there are people who have true actual chemical imbalances, and there are medicines to balance the brain chemistry. I'm not aware of the research if marijuana has been shown to balance brain chemistry. It may well be there, and maybe you want to look into that. But at the moment, I'm a much more of a holistic person. Now everybody's going to say, "Well, Bob, marijuana is an herb; it's holistic." Okay, I'm hearing you, but ultimately, again, we have to look at it from a medical perspective of ultimately what is the balancing, because every drug has its opposite reaction and it can be good or bad. So I really can't comment on marijuana as helping with depression. I do know that it's been helpful for cancer patients, and there are people now being prescribed it. So it does have its medicinal uses. So maybe depression is one of them. I'm not familiar with that. And as a psychic, I prefer not to comment at this time, except to say that I believe that within us exist all the abilities without having to rely always on outside substances. Okay. Anyways, good questions. I think it's worth looking into and discussing. And, if you know some information or some stats or anybody else here about marijuana in relation to depression, I'd like to hear that. I can also just say that, from what I've seen, when I've seen people, I've had clients that have been longtime marijuana users. My personal opinion is that marijuana seems to demotivate people. And a lot of times people become literally like stagnant in their lives because of marijuana. So I know that depression many times makes people frozen and unable to act. I don't know if marijuana would further complicate that. But then according, maybe with the chemistry of the brain chemistry, maybe marijuana kicks in something that motivates them. So I'm not really sure on that, to be honest. But as far as psychic use, that I can address. And I hope that my answers made some sense there. Good question, so thanks for writing. All right. Our next letter is from Aphrodita. Hello, Aphrodita. She's a longtime viewer here. Aphrodita writes, this says, hello, Bob. A guy that I was seeing a few months ago, and he broke up with me. At the time, he was not ready for a relationship. Now he says he wants to talk and explore what could be for us, either friends or a relationship. What do you see for us? Hugs and blessings. Hi, Aphrodita. You know, hon, I have to tell you, when I step into his frequency, and I say this in kindness, not to sound negative, I don't feel he has a firm foundation yet. The energy that brought your breakup about, him not being ready for a relationship, I feel comes from a few different issues. One is that I feel that he has not really discovered himself. I get an energy of youth around him, like he's physically younger or immature in some way. And I feel that he's still at a place of growing. And so because he has not done his inner work, I think it will be very hard for him to be in a relationship with you because, you know, I've told you this, you're an older soul. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of compassion. But in this case, in terms of relationship, I think it's going to be very difficult to be in a romantic situation with him. I feel like he could be a friend, and I think that you can be valuable in the sense of being there to help him to grow. But he still has to do his inner work. And at this time, I'm just feeling that his energy does not have a stable foundation to build on. I think in the coming years, probably about 2 years, he's going to really grow a lot. But for the next 2 years, I don't see him in a place to where energetically it would be a good mix for you. So, you know, be his friend. Help him on his journey. But I think in terms of love, you want to, you know, let it be. Just don't go there, okay? Anyways, I hope that helps answer your question, okay? Thanks for writing. Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is from Nastya Fedorova. Is that a Russian name? I love that. Nastya Fedorova. That's a good name. Okay, Nastya writes, says, "Hi, Psychic Bob." Well, hello, dear. She writes, "What do you see for me in the future? How is the financial side of things going to work out? Thanks." You know, I have to tell you, Nastya, when I step into your frequency, I get a few colors here around you. I'm getting a lot of yellow light and orange light right now. This is really good because yellow means that you're starting to have vision, you're starting to be inspired. Orange means you're in a drawing position to draw to yourself new opportunities and new people. So in your future, and when I say about the future, I'm talking like probably as we go into around November, December, this time frame is where this energy starts to open for you. And I feel like at that time, you're going to feel very inspired and creative. I want you to trust your inspiration now because I feel like you're literally channeling ideas through. In terms of financial things, I do see improvement, and I think during these months of November and December, this is where opportunity will present itself to you. You have a lot of orange in your vibration, which means that you have a very strong creative or artistic energy. And I feel like in terms of finance, you need to definitely be in work where you get to be more creative. Actually, I think running your own business ultimately is where it's going to take you. But in the short term, I want you to be open to work that allows you to express yourself. I think you have a few different skill areas here, what I pick up around you. One is, as I said, artistic energy. I think you'd be very good in working in design. For example, fashion design or home interior design. Something where you're creating something visual where people can see. I think you'd also be very good in like the area of painting or photography. Anything that has a visual element to it that you can create and direct is where I think you'll have the greatest success. And so that's where I'd like you to put some energy. Now, yellow light also means that you may be doing some education here. So you may have to go back to school here to pick up some of these, you know, studies in these areas. But I think that you're at a place where you could really get that going. And so in November and December, it'd be good if you want to do some classwork to apply for some classes. Now, that may not start till January, but I feel like you're at a turning point where money will be available for you to do some further education here. And I would like to encourage you to do that. So I do see improvement. I feel like as we go into 2018, you're feeling really a lot more inspiration, a lot more creativity. And I want you to honor your creative side. I keep feeling like there are people around you trying to pigeonhole you. And what I mean by that is they want you to go one little narrow path, say, well, you can only do accounting studies. No, you can do whatever you want. But I'll tell you, if you allow yourself to embrace your creative side, you will succeed in a large way, in a way that other people will be surprised at. So I want you to know the energy that's around you and work with that, because I always have a say, when we work with the energy that is present, then we are successful. So your energy right now is all about inspiration and creativity. And that's where, if you do jobs where you're allowed to create and be inspired, you're going to have a lot more success. I could actually see you in media too, because I feel like you're good in front of the camera. I actually feel like you have a good personality. You may not have training in media background, but if they put you in front of a camera, you could perform. So I want you to be open to a lot of different areas here, but you've got to really think in terms of, where am I expressing? Where am I being creative? Then you will be successful. So if you say, well, Bob, I'm going to go just, work at a gas station and pump gas. I don't even know if people pump gas anymore. But, I would say to you, that doesn't honor your creative and artistic side. So I'd say that won't work for you. Now, somebody else could go pump gas and they would just make a real great job of it and be amazing and make a lot of money. But you have more of an artistic leaning and a very much an intellectual and artistic side. This is where you want to keep your focus. So honor your higher self and you'll have success. I think that by January, you're in a much more stable financial position. I feel like you've got money coming in at that time. And, I know, like you're saying, but Bob, I got to wait till January. No, I'm not saying you have to wait till then, but by January, you'll understand that things will be much more stable and balanced. So the next 2 months are growth months for you. I really feel like January is where you really come into your power, okay? So you're on a good path. Just hang in there, okay? I hope that helps. Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is from Pam W. Hello, Pam. And Pam writes this, hi, Bob. I'm very interested in retirement from my current job as soon as possible, but not sure about the timing of this for my higher good. Do you have a word of wisdom for me? Hi, Pam. Hon, while I'm stepping into your vibration, I have to tell you, I get a few different lights here in your aura. The R's are like a rainbow. I'm getting a layer of pink light here around you. And I'm also getting another layer of white light. And then I get some blue light here. And what that means energetically, that pink light around you tells me that you're feeling a little overwhelmed. It's like in your current work, it's like you're just ready to jump out the window. Pink light means that people around you are putting upon you feelings of being overwhelmed, maybe some anxiety, maybe some depression mixing in there. And I think that what you have to kind of separate is how you're feeling from what you actually need to do. And that's not very easy. So I don't criticize you for feeling of, split mind over this. In terms of your current work, I do have to tell you from an energy place, I do feel like you're winding down there. This is not a time that I see you jumping into like a big project or working on career advancement. I really do feel like in terms of leaving, you are very close to that, okay? Now, what's interesting is I feel like despite the intensity of the way you're feeling about it, I feel that they actually like you. And as far as the quality of your work, I think you do a good job and they like you. And this is where the challenge is going to be, because I feel like when we're in the month of December, I feel like there's some people, some higher ups coming to you and making an offer to you for like a promotion. And they're going to say, well, we'd like you to stay on and we want to give you a new position, new responsibility. That's going to be very tempting because they're going to be very convincing. And I see this happening to you, as I said, around December, it looks like. I'll tell you, though, from an energy standpoint, I don't feel that you're meant to be there anymore. Even if you get the promotion and the extra money, I do feel there'll be more money offered to you. But I don't think it's about money for you. I feel like from an energy place, you're at a place now where you're ready to step in to your own journey. And, when we talk about timing, I feel like if you wanted to stay on there until the new year, that would be probably the best for you, because I feel like in December, one of the things that you could do is negotiate an exit strategy. I don't think you just want to get up and walk out of your job today. You might feel like you want to do that, but I'll tell you, in terms of the higher good, I think you want to stay there until at least, the new year. Because I feel like at that time, around December, when that offer comes to you, you would be able to say, you know what, I feel like I want to go out, but I want to go out on a term that helps me. And you may be able to negotiate at that time an increase for yourself and maybe some extra benefits or some improvement in benefits, that you could let it be known like that you're planning on retiring. And maybe you could make it like, I'm going to retire by March. I feel like you might be there during the first quarter of 2018. So I think in a sense of retirement, it's not far for you. But I want you to leave on your terms, not just go because you feel frustrated and pushed out. And if you can hang in there till December, you'll be in a power position of negotiating what you need to get you through the next few months and to be able to leave on a really good note. And you'll actually leave with a legacy that will be honorable, and you'll be leaving on a better position financially as well. So you could negotiate, for example, that you'll stay on for another 3 or 4 months, but you need a certain increase. You may not want to take on that new position, but you might want to say, well, you know what, I'll work in the new position as an interim director. I feel like there's a management position coming to you. So it's like it'll be a prestigious position, but you could say, well, you know what, I'll stay on for 3 or 4 months until you can fill it with the permanent position. And that way you would actually get more money, get out of your current environment, and be able to do something that will give you a little more cash and a little more peace until you're ready to go. And I think that, by 2018, at the latest, I feel like it'll be June. I think you could go out by March, but if you stay on to June, you'll be okay there. So that's how I would look at this, because I'm just feeling like if you go and leave in the next 2 weeks, it's just not good. Things aren't settled, and energetically, you'll be better by waiting just a little longer, okay? So that's how I would ask you to consider looking at it, okay? I pick up around you also, you've got a guardian spirit around you. And I hear the name, it sounds like Marina. Marina is the name, Marina, M-A-R-I-N-A. It's one of your spirit people. And I feel like Marina is helping kind of shield you from some of the hostile energy. I feel there's some aggression and some just, politics at your work. And I think Marina has come in to kind of shield you. So I want you, as you go into work each day, say, Marina, be with me, get me through the day, keep me out of the drama, and let me just do my job well and not be stressed. But, I do have to tell you that, actually things with working with Marina also is going to make it a little more peaceful. But I'm going to just caution you, don't get comfortable, because I do feel like you're not meant to stay there. Also going forward, I was going to tell you, I feel like you're never actually going to retire. You're like, what? I want to retire. I think really what you're going to do is you're going to leave this job. But I have to tell you, in the future, I see you working in some sort of charity work. It may be a nonprofit work, but I actually feel like you're never really going to truly retire in the sense of just sitting on the beach and drinking martinis. Your energy is much more dynamic. You have in your vibration this yellow light and this blue light. And yellow light also means that you're going to be inspired to look at new opportunities. And I think that when you leave this work, that you're going to, do some work. I'd like you just to consider it, explore doing some volunteer work and maybe some nonprofit work. And I think that's going to open up some doors that'll bring you a lot of joy. So you're not going to be somebody just sitting in your house all day. You will be active in other things. But, as far as this immediate job, I think it's about done. And you can, if you do what I suggest, you plan your exit strategy and that timing, you'll have a lot of success with that. Okay. Anyways, I hope that helps you. And thank you for writing. Let me know how it goes, okay? Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is from Anita Patterson. Hi, Anita. Anita Rich says, hi, Bob. Is there a message for me? I have been really sad and want to go to the other side. Why can't I go yet? Oh, Anita. You know, hon, first of all, I can feel in your letter when I touch the paper here, I pick up your struggle. I pick up your sorrow. Yes, there are a lot of messages actually for you. The Spirit led me to your letter here because, first of all, I want to tell you you're not alone. I literally had a voice today come to me and tell me to speak to you, to read this. This letter literally came up to the top of my stack. And a spirit said, you must answer this. So I want you to know, first of all, you're not alone because a spirit reached out to me. It was a guardian spirit of yours to help you. And, you know, I have to tell you, as I'm stepping into your vibration, I do pick up around you a lot of dark blue light. And that does mean that you're struggling with depression. You know, when we feel overwhelmed and we feel sad, it's very easy to become homesick. The fact that you say, I miss home, I want to go home, why can't I go home? Actually is a sign. It's a sign that you are an older soul. It means that on a soul level you remember the heavenly realms. You know, when we come down here to the earth, that memory of the other side is taken from us. Because the truth is, it's so beautiful on the other side that if we could fully remember everything, we'd never be able to be here. And I had a near-death experience several years ago, and I literally went to the other side, and I saw the light of God. A lot of that memory was taken from me, and they told me you won't remember a lot when you go back because it will be too much for you to bear. And I'm thankful that I don't remember, because I can tell you from the little bit I experienced, I don't know why I ever came here sometimes. This world, I'm not going to lie, it's a negative place. It is a hard place. And so when you tell me you feel sad, you feel overwhelmed, I understand that. And I want to acknowledge that. But I also want to say to you to consider that you are here on a mission. Nobody ends up in the earth just like, oops, I actually end up in this body. I just popped in here. We all plan to come here. We have committees on the other side that guide us, people that bring us here. And you actually have a whole team of people, whether you know it or not, that are with you and that are guiding you. And so if you just for example, kill yourself and try to go back home, really, really bad, because it really hurts your team. It also hurts all the people on earth who love you. I know it's hard, and I beg you not to go to that place of despair, please. I'd like to encourage you to seek out some medical help because, we're body, mind, and spirit. And sometimes part of that function gets out of whack. I do feel you have a biological, chemical depression around you, which means your hormonal levels, your brain chemistry is having some imbalance. I don't think that's a long-term issue. I think it's a temporary issue that can be corrected through short-term medication for you, just to get things back in sync. I also pick up around you what I call situational depression, and that means that there are just things going on that are overwhelming you. As I said at the beginning of this video, and Wicked Dreams asked me about marijuana. And I said, one of the things that I was taught in the spiritualist church is that the power to access all the heavenly realms is within us. And so I want you, and I know it's very hard right now, but I want you to make it your number one priority each day to sit down and do 5 minutes of meditation. I know that's going to be hard. You're saying, I can do that. Well, it'll be hard. I'm not going to lie. But if you can just take 5 minutes, you start to bring that light into you. Just visualize beautiful golden white light coming in through your top of your head, moving through your body, all the way to your feet. Sit in that light, and when that light is in you, visualize it, try to sense it. If you have trouble visualizing, just imagine what it feels like to have warm sunlight go down your body. You can maybe feel or sense what that would feel like. Go literally sit in the sun also for a little while, for 5 minutes. if you want. That'll help you get into this meditation. But once you have that light in you, you're connecting to your higher self. See, your higher self never grieves. It never has depression. It doesn't have hopelessness, because your higher self is truly connected to the divine. We are all literally children of God. You know, a lot of us have been getting these messages in this, like that we're worthless, or we don't count, or we're not good enough. Listen, don't listen to any of that. That's worldly people talking. What do they know? They don't know the Spirit. But those who know the Spirit live in that light. You live in that light, and that light will connect you back to who you really are. You are a child of the divine. The God, the goddess, however you want to call the divine, the light, loves you and has never abandoned you nor forgotten you. What happens is when we get into these bodies, we get so densely enmeshed in the material world, we forget who we are, what we're here for, and how it all fits together. And this is why we get depressed. And listen, I don't blame anybody who struggles with depression, because it's easy to get depressed in this world. But the challenge is, can we remember who we are? Can we come back to our true self, our authentic self? Our authentic self is perfect. Our authentic self is one of love. Our authentic self knows all things and is never alone. And so you're not alone. I want you to know here at Spirit Channel, you are loved. I created this channel so that people would have a place of refuge, to come, to share their thoughts, to learn, to think about things, to open dialogue. So I want you, Anita, since you were able to write me a message, that means you have a YouTube account. I want you to start writing to people here on my channel. Write to me. See somebody in the comments, send them a note, write a comment to them. Just click on their reply to their comment. Start a dialogue, connect here. We're a community. I write, and many of you know in the comments, you can tell Anita, I try as much as I can to personally connect with each of you. And unfortunately, and not unfortunately, fortunately, but struggle-wise, it's unfortunate. I have over, 13,000 people on my channel. Right now, I can't personally always write to all 13,000, but I write to as many as I can, and I try to be involved in my channel and not just, put stuff up and ignore it. I try to be part of the channel that I've created. And so you have a place here, a community, and we all do support each other. Anita, a few years ago, I went through a horrible, horrible, horrible time in my life. I was near suicide myself. With depression and anxiety, I was assaulted, which is a long story, but I had some people attack me and try to murder me. And it was YouTube that's literally saved my life. People say, wow, how do you get the energy to put out YouTube every day? I get the energy because of the love that I was given. So many wonderful YouTube people wrote me letters during that time. Said, Psychic Bob, where are you? We don't see you. We missed you. Come back to YouTube. I literally shut down and walked away from my life for a long time. But YouTube brought me out of that and brought me back. And so I vowed that my life will be devoted to those who have helped me. YouTube was literally a lifesaver. And it can be a lifesaver for you, but you have to be willing to engage in it. So take some risk. Reach out to some people. I think you'll find the people on my channel here are safe, and they'll be your friend, and you can communicate. As I said, I'd like you to work with your doctor. I think maybe some medication to balance the mood would be good as a short-term thing. And I think that I'd like you to work with a therapist to talk out your problems and help them understand where your triggers are. I used to suffer with anxiety disorder many years ago. This is before all my drama that I had when people tried to kill me, just before all that. And a doctor that I spoke with said that once you understand your triggers, you can, get around your anxiety triggering. And so, like for me, one of my anxiety triggers is wearing really tight things around my neck. You'll notice you used to see me in soft shirts. I generally don't wear shirt and tie these days unless I have to, because one of my triggers is that tightness around my throat induces anxiety. Now that I know that that's a physical trigger, I was not conscious of that. I don't have anxiety because I don't put myself in positions to trigger it. Anyways, that's just one example, but I feel like around you that you kind of fluctuate between anxiety and depression a lot. And, honey, it's not your time to go home. I know you say, I want to go. Why can't I go yet? I hear your question. What that is, though, that's the cry of your spirit saying, help me to awaken, help me to remember why I'm here. And you are here, believe it or not, to be a healer and to be a light worker. And all the struggle that you're going through now is for you to learn empathy, to learn compassion. You might say, well, I already have compassion. Yeah, you do. But this is what I call the graduate level. The pain that you feel, the anxiety, the suffering, you'll never forget it, but you will overcome it. And when you overcome it, then you will have power to heal others. So you have a healer theme, and in the future I do see you helping others who are going through these very struggles. So do not forget the pain, but let the pain, rather than destroy you, let it make you strong. When I was in my time of darkness a few years ago, when people were trying to murder me, and it's a long story, so I won't go into it here, but one of the things that I learned in that struggle was I get to choose. Do I choose to live or do I choose to die? My spirit people said, well, you could kill yourself, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And I'm going to say that to you because if we bail out of our mission, we don't get to go to the high place in heaven. Generally, we're recycled. We get reincarnated, and we have to go through everything again until we get it right. And you don't want to do that, trust me. So it's better that you stay the course now because you'll get great accolades in the spirit world. And whenever you cross a time of great suffering and you honor yourself and you do it right, you get power. And that power will come when you most need it. You see, in the future years, I see you going on and doing healing works. And I feel like you will work in holistic health. You may work with Reiki energy. You might do some massage work, acupuncture. It's up to you. It's not set in stone that you have to do one or the other. But I do feel that you have a healer theme on your chart and that you will have opportunity. And if you exit this world now, all the people that you would have helped won't get the help. You won't be there. And that creates a long-term backlog. And it makes the spirit people have to work harder. And believe me, you don't want to be on their bad side. Sometimes I get lazy and Fletcher gets on me. He said, you're not doing your work. People are counting on you. And so know that you have a purpose here. I'm not trying to pressure you. You don't have to get out and be perfect and run the race today. But I do ask you to love yourself enough just to slow down and seek out some healing. And start with the spirit. Let it help you. And let it lead you to the right doctors. I'd like you to explore holistic doctors, particularly, naturopathic physicians. These are licensed MDs, medical doctors of medicine, who work with holistic energies. But you want to look for naturopathic. Okay, look that up, naturopathic MD. That's where I see you getting a lot of healing because they'll be able to help your body get the right balance of medicines so you won't become toxicified. See, that's a danger too, is that sometimes too much medicine can mess you up. But a naturopathic MD, I think, would be very helpful for you, okay? So listen, I'm praying for you and I'm with you, and I don't want you to go home. It's not your time. You have a great mission to do. And I'm here, and Spirit Channel's here. I want everybody at Spirit Channel to reach out to Anita Patterson. Put a note in the comments for her. Tell her that you love her. Tell her that you're with her. Tell her welcome to our community, and we're going to help her. Okay, Anita? You don't have to do it alone. That's why I created Spirit Channel. You are loved, and you are here. I'm sending hugs and blessings to you. Please let me know what you're doing, okay? Just check in with us, and let's start a dialogue. Blessings to you. Well, guys, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your patience that I'm getting this out late. I love all of you. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. We always have more coming. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We got Wiccan Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. We'll have something. Just be here. It'll be fun. and I look forward to it. Listen, if you get a chance, pop over to my website, check out some books. I've got books over there at my bookstore. I'm a published author. This is Messages from Rose, about my work as a trance channel medium. This is my other book called Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. You can get both of those and some other books over at my bookstore. So go to robert-hickman.com. Info in the links in the info box below. Guys, thanks for being here. I love you. We'll see you here tomorrow. Help me out. Like this video, favorite it, share this around, pass it on to your friends. Tell them to join the Spirit Channel. We'd love them to be here. Thanks for being here. I love you. We'll see you here tomorrow. Until then, may you always blessed be.